You're great at executing, managing your team, and hitting deadlines. But now comes the harder part, working with your boss or your leader, or worse, even their bosses. This is where many professionals they get stuck. Not because they're incompetent, but because they haven't learned how to manage your leaders. Please understand, your manager is not a mind reader, but most professionals they act like your managers will come to know what's going on in your mind. You sit at your desk frustrated, disappointed. You're doing the work, you're staying late, you're hitting your deadlines, but your efforts are not being noticed. There is no visibility, there is no credit that you're getting, and there is no growth that you're seeing in front of you as well. And to make all of this even go worse, when things go wrong, you're the first one who's questioned. It's not because you're not capable. It's because no one ever taught you the skill of managing up or managing your leaders, like I just mentioned. Yes, working with your manager, not just working under them, but working with them. Let me break this down for you. But before that, subscribe to my channel here and turn on your notifications if you like, as every Thursday, a new episode of mine comes out. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. You with Sonia on Thinking Thursdays. Grab your cups of coffee and let's start with the episode. And yes, if you want to take down some notes, please grab your pen, pencils, and your notepads too, right? Because if there is some point that you really want to memorize and you want to make a note of it, your notepad will come handy. See, managing up or managing your leaders is not manipulation. It's not even sucking up to them. And definitely it's not staying silent and hoping to get noticed. It's all about building a very healthy, strategic, and a proactive relationship with those who are above you in the working hierarchy so that both you and the business can grow. Now, before I give you some tips and tricks that you can use, first let's understand what does managing up really mean? See, managing up is an art of understanding your leaders, your boss's priorities, their working style, their pressure points, and aligning your communication, your updates that you're giving them, and the energy to support them without compromising your own integrity. It's all about anticipating their needs, communicating with them with complete clarity, being a solution first kind of a person, and not only bringing in the problems on the table for them, earning their trust through reliability and insights. Let's face it, senior leaders have limited time, they have higher accountability, they have multiple stakeholders to manage, like their superiors, the managing team, the senior leadership. They have multiple stakeholders to manage, right? They have multiple projects or tasks at their hand. Their calendars are overloaded and they are under constant pressure to look ahead while you're trying to deliver today. And let's be honest here, some leaders are not even trained to lead. So even maybe they are confused as to how to manage their own team. So if you want visibility, you want influence, and you want eventually grow, then you must learn how to make their life a little clearer for them and better informed. Let's say, for example, hypothetically, say you're a very silent performer, right? You're brilliant at what you do. You deliver very high quality work, but you never update your manager unless the manager asks you. You never present your wins and you never even speak up in meetings unless the spotlight is on you. And here, guess what happens? Your less capable peer gets promoted because simply he shares or she shares the progress on time, takes initiative, and manages the expectations before they start coming up. So what is the lesson here? That being visible is not being loud, but it simply means that you're aligning your work with what your manager values and your manager needs. Let me give you another scenario. Say, for example, you're someone that you always keep telling your boss everything that's going wrong at work, every issue, every team conflict. So basically what you're trying to do is you're bitching about your own team members to your boss. You're complaining. You're just like a complaint box. You keep complaining to your boss, but you never bring solutions on table. You never say how the situation can be improved. Now, what will happen is that your manager will eventually start avoiding you because every meeting for him feels like, it's a big drama. So what's the lesson here? That leaders are looking for thinking partners and not somebody who is going to amplify their stress multifold. Always bring a way forward, even if it's rough. So let me get down quickly on sharing 6 principles for managing up effectively, for managing your bosses in a more effective manner. See, first thing what you need to do is you need to understand what are their goals and what are their pressures that they are facing on day-to-day work life. And here, don't just think about your job, think about their job too. What are they accountable for and what's keeping them up at night? Say, for example, your vice president is focused on cutting cost for this entire quarter, and you come up with a new tool which is going to cost, say, for example, 50,000. Now, for sure, your vice president is not going to like it because he is looking at saving some money for the company, cutting on some cost, and here you're bringing in that, so why don't we look at this tool? It costs 50,000. Well, he's not going to like that unless you lead with the ROI and you also explain about what is the long-term efficiency. And that way your boss will listen to you because you're bringing in some data, some statistics, and you're saying, okay, fine, with 50,000, of course, it's a long-term investment that you're doing. So if you spread it over a period of time and this is the ROI we'll get, it cut down on whatever time that we're utilizing in probably unwanted things. If we get this tool, it'll be beneficial because then the team can focus on more serious tasks. Now, when you say this, then your manager will listen to you and not just say that, sir, please, this tool is very, very helpful. Can we get it for the team? It's 50,000 only. He will not listen to you till you do not explain why we need it, what is the benefit of it, and what are we going to achieve from it. When you're focusing on goals, please ask yourself, what does success look like for them? And how does my work impact their top goals? Here, I'd like to say that respect their time and prepare for it. See, senior leaders, they don't have the time to go in circles all the time. When you're getting 15 minutes of time with them, then actually you need to be prepared with what is the context, what is the problem, what is your recommendation, and what you need from them. So instead of saying that there is an issue with the vendor, simply try and say that we've had a delay with this vendor. I've explored 2 more alternatives. Here's the trade-off, and I recommend option B. What do you think about it? So now what you're trying to do is you're actually saying what is the problem. You figured out why the problem is occurring and you figured out a solution options also for him. And you've said that what are you recommending? So it makes your boss's life a little easier. So the person doesn't have to do all of this on his own. You've done the work for him and now simply he has to look at what is your report saying and he will take a decision basis that. And trust me, most of the times the decision will be what you have recommended only. And here the third thing what you need to take care is please adapt to your managers or your leaders' communication style. See, some leaders, they want dashboards. Others might prefer just like a 5-minute voice note summary for them. Some, they love details. Some like headlines with options. So if you see that your boss is replying to your emails in bullet points, please start mirroring that style. That maybe your boss does not like long emails, paragraphs and paragraphs, like a whole story that you're writing in email. Maybe your boss doesn't like it. He just wants you to be very direct. State in bullet point, what is the agenda? Why are you writing this mail? What are you seeking from that email? And he'll be more than happy to go through your mail and give you a quick response. Now, leaders, if they have to read tons of emails, and in every email, if they have to read long paragraphs, imagine how their day is going to look like. And if you are one person who loves to write stories in emails, then I think you need to change, start mirroring how your boss appreciates emails coming from you. Because managing up is all about adapting your communication style with what is your manager's communication style or what is their style of preference from you. Make it easy for them to consume what matters. See, here I would also like to say that bring solutions and not just speak about problems. Right? I gave you an example as well because nobody likes a problem dumper. Be the person who raises flags early on, but always with a lens of, here's what I'd like to suggest. Here, what are you doing is you're also sharing what is the issue, what is the problem, and here is what is the solution that you want to bring on table for your boss to listen. Let me give you another example of this, right? So don't say that, the team is demotivated. So what you're trying to say is that team does not feel like working under you, team is not happy working with you. So instead of saying that, just that one line that the team is not motivated, you should in fact take a very different approach. Say that the team's energy is low after these back-to-back product launches that we've done. And I suggest that we stagger the next month's deliverables and create a quick moral boosting session for the team. Now, here's what you're doing is you're telling the manager that the whole team's morale is down. They are feeling a little slow on energy and they're feeling a little tired. So what we need to do is for the next month, let's slow down a bit. Let's make sure that the team is more aligned. Let's boost their morale. Let's do some workshop for them so that they get all charged up. Here, your boss will listen to you. See, it's very important for you to show your credibility to your bosses. The bosses should be able to trust you and they should be able to rely on you for any work that they're passing down to you. Because if they don't rely on you, then what they'll have to do is they'll have to micromanage you. Even if they don't like micromanaging, they'll still have to micromanage you. Why? Because, they don't trust you. You're not reliable. You're not making up for whatever deadlines that were given to you in the past. You didn't meet those deadlines. So your boss is still worried that I've given this project to him. I'm sure he's not going to come back to me with, if there are any flags, he'll always come at the last minute and the project will get delayed. So it's very, very important that you start building trust with your manager. And trust comes when you start delivering without being chased by your manager. So your manager doesn't have to keep chasing you. What happened? What happened? What happened? Did you do this? Did you do that? The manager doesn't have to waste his energy, time, effort into chasing you that whether the project is on time or not. Whereas the manager knows that, okay, fine, he's given you the task. He knows that you will deliver it on time because he's trusting you. You've delivered in the past. Right? So start delivering without being chased by your manager. And here, even if something's getting delayed or goes sideways, please update them early on, right on that time. Don't wait for some miracle to happen that everything will come on track, right? Please understand that your bosses do not like surprises. If you think that you'll manage it and some miracle will happen, whatever roadblock that has come, you'll be able to overcome it. What if you don't overcome? So instead, just go up to your boss to say that, this thing has happened. I'm trying to tackle it, but I just wanted to bring it to your knowledge that we might be slightly delayed. Now, he will really appreciate that you actually brought this in front, and you never know, he might have a better solution or a better suggestion for you, which might work wonders and you might be able to achieve your deadline. So always give heads up to your manager. Say if you are like 2 days behind the report purely because you got some data last minute, so go and update your manager. I think we'll be running 2 days late because I've just got this data. We are verifying it. I'm finding that there are some gaps in it. So allow me some time. I'm resolving this issue, but I'm just giving you a heads up that we might be 2 days late. This kind of a behavior, if you start developing, it will build credibility and your boss will not think that, because you've not met your targets, you're just cooking up excuses now. Right? If you inform them well in advance, they will actually take your every word that you say very, very seriously. And the last one here, give feedback upwards too. See, it's not like only the leaders are giving you feedback. Even they expect feedbacks coming from the team as well. They appreciate it. So please give feedback upwards, but in the right way. See, giving feedback to your seniors or leaders is fine, but the timing and your tone has to be right. So if your boss has just come out from a management meeting and from the facial expression that he is tired, he's overworked and he's got too many things going on in his mind, and you just approach to say that, sir, would it be okay? I want to discuss something with you and it's very, very crucial. These check-ins that you're doing with me, it's taking a toll on me. He will literally give it back to you. Trust me, he will do that. So instead of doing that, check, when he is a little free, he's not very occupied, and then approach with a softer tone, and then approach him by just saying that, would it be okay if I shared something I think could improve how we run these check-ins? I've noticed that some of the juniors, they're very hesitant to come and speak to you. And maybe we could just rotate the lead speakers in our review meetings going forward, as it'll give everybody a chance to speak. Now, what you're doing is you're leading with value. You're not just criticizing. Do you want a bonus here too? Okay, fine. Let me tell you what is not to be done when you are managing your leaders or when you're working with your leaders. Don't overpromise to impress. I've seen many people, just they're the yes person. Yes, sir, I'll do it. Yes, sir, I'll do it. Okay, sir, you want it in 2 days. I'll give it to you in 1 day. Wait and watch, sir. I will give it to you. So please do not overpromise just to impress your bosses. The bosses are not impressed if you keep saying yes, yes, yes to them. Because at the same time, while you're saying yes, you are overpromising yourself to win brownie points with your bosses. But if you under-deliver, that's going to ruin your credibility. So please don't overpromise to your leaders. And don't gossip and don't blame other people. It actually shows your lack of ownership. Don't be invisible, and visibility does not mean showing off. It means showing up with impact. What is the value that you're bringing on table? Are you communicating with your bosses the way they would like you to communicate with them? Are you bringing solutions on table, or are you just a problem dumper? And here, don't wait for instructions from your bosses all the time. Be proactive. They love that. You're not like kindergarten kids, right? You don't have to be told every step what you need to take. Bosses expect you to be proactive. They want you to take the lead sometimes. So don't every time wait for instructions, but yes, keep them in the loop. So if the bosses want to give you some input, maybe guide you, they can do that at the right time before it's too late. So before I end this episode, I simply just want to say, managing up or managing your leaders is a career skill. It's not a survival tactic. If you want to rise, you want to learn to work with leadership and not just under them, then it's all about influence without overstepping. It's all about clarity without fear. And also, it's all about being that person that your boss can depend on, especially when things are going a little rough. So the best professionals don't do just their job, but they also make their manager's job a little easier, make their team a little stronger, and their own path a little clearer. So if you want to learn this, message me here, as in July, which is the coming month, July 2025, I'm going to be taking up limited people for a 45-minute one-on-one clarity call with me. Just fill out the form which I've given in the description below, and I will schedule a call with you. Hope you found this episode useful. Don't forget to share it with your friends who might want to listen to this. Like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to see you in my next video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.